Comcast is required to provide time on this channel and make it available pursuant to franchise agreements with the communities we serve. Comcast is not affiliated with the following program or the producers of public access programming and is not responsible for the content. The following program does not reflect the opinions of Comcast or its affiliates.
Hello and welcome to the Tinley Park Chamber of Commerce cable TV show, which airs, as you probably already know, every Tuesday on Comcast Community Channel and various days on the AT&T Community Channel and at different times throughout the day. As I said, I'm your cable TV host. I am a past president of the Chamber of Commerce and a current Board of Directors member. And I work with the Chicago Southland Convention and Visitors Bureau in membership sales. And once again, we're happy to have with us, it's been a while, the president of Diamond Dream Destinations, Peggy Petrovich. Peggy, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for having me, Joe. It's good to be here.
It's good to have you, and it's been a while.
Yes, it's been several years.
I'm sure there are a lot of people, maybe they don't remember, or there's a lot that haven't seen you. So without me taking up any of your airtime, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what inspired you to go into the travel business, and then we'll talk about Diamond Dream Destinations.
Okay, sounds good. I guess I just always had a real interest in travel. Many people do. As a child in our home, my father always had the National Geographic magazines and missionary magazines, and I used to like to look through those and just dream of going to all these places in the world. I wanted to see as much of the world as I could. Well, in the late 1980s, I decided to take my first course in travel and tourism through Moraine Valley. At that time, I realized with the ages of my children, it just wasn't the right timing, so I just decided to hold off for a little while. So then in 1995, I went back to Moraine Valley, and at that time, they had really added on to their programs. So I did a certificate program. I had to do 26 college credit hours. And so I was working full-time at a high school, and I did this in the evenings and in the summertime. And so I just started, and I graduated, and in 1997, and I started working with a travel agency, a local travel agency, as outside sales. So I just progressively started to learn the business. There's lots to learning, and the computer programming and stuff with that. And then I started seeing that there was a whole new trend with agencies. What we call the brick and mortar, the storefronts, were starting to go away, and people were agent at home is what they called it. I started going to a lot of those meetings and looking into that. And so with my husband John and myself, we decided that we were going to go off on our own. And so we started Diamond Dream Destinations in May of 2007. And so I've been in the business since 1995, from the beginning of the school, and it's about 15 years.
So those kids aren't in your way anymore?
Oh, those kids, no, they're grown men with families of their own. Yes, yeah.
Isn't that great?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
I'm not sure if I've asked you this in the past, and we don't need to spend a lot of time on it, but
Sure.
Where did the name Diamond Dream Destinations come from?
Oh, sure, I'm glad you asked me that. Diamond is my maiden name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think you did tell me that.
Yeah, I possibly did. Yeah, I seem to mention it to people a lot because diamond is used in a lot of businesses, and so I feel like I have a little ownership in that name because it is my maiden name. And somebody mentioned to me when I first started my own business, they said, well, that's always been your dream. And why don't you call it Dream Destinations? Well, there were so many dreams out there, so we decided to put Diamond in front of it and call it Diamond Dream Destinations.
It was perfect.
So it works out well, yeah. So it's a family name.
You did have the right to use that.
I sure think so.
You did. So, well, you've told us you've been in actual business as Diamond Dream Destinations since
Yes.
1995.
No,
Is
as
there-
Diamond Dream
oh.
Destinations from 2007. We incorporated in 2007. Yeah, I've been in the travel industry since 1995.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, as one not real knowledgeable in the business, because I didn't do 26 credit hours or anything like that, tell us about some of the things that people could take advantage of. What are the perks, the advantages of using an agency or a service like yours?
Oh, okay. You know, we get information all the time about different scenarios from other agencies. There's lots of websites and blogs and things where we can, you know, participate in. And for example, whenever I have a destination wedding, we always are in contact with our business development person for the hotel that the group is going to stay at. We can make sure that the group is going to be getting it together, even if there's just a couple going away. I'll give an example. We had a couple in March that emailed me. I had emailed them how things were going. I knew they were going to be on their computer even though they were on vacation, and they were booked into a wrong room category. And the hotel at first didn't do anything for them. So I contacted my business development person. Not only did they put them in the category that they were supposed to be in, but they upgraded them. They gave them spa credits. They, you know, they give them little perks and amenities in their room. And I do that with most of my clients. I do contact either the general manager of the hotel or a business development person and ask if they can have some kind of an amenity in the room waiting for them when they arrive.
So you're kind of an advocate for them as well, even during their trip.
Oh, sure. We just had a person booked, and they weren't happy with the hotel that they booked in, and it was a Sunday, and so they couldn't get a hold of anybody. They got a hold of me, and I got them switched to a hotel that they were very happy with. And so when you're on your own, you are on your own. You don't have an advocate to help you out, you
Certainly.
know. And we give, when we give clients their documents, we give a listing of travel tips, and people appreciate that. There's things on there that they never would have thought that they should bring or shouldn't bring, or what they need to do ahead of time. You know, we pretty much hold their hand every step of the way.
Well, just so we don't get caught not having enough time at the end, let's talk about, I know you mentioned that there are some promotions that are coming up after the month of May, as well as into the year 2015
Yes.
that you're already getting people to sign up for. So let's talk about that, and then if we have some extra time, we can.
Sure. Well, the one thing we have going, and by May we would still be able to, if we still have openings, sign people up for it. We have a 15-day Globus bus tour of England, Ireland, and Scotland, and it's round-trip London. And it's a wonderful itinerary visiting, of course, London and all the sights of London, and Stonehenge and Bath, and going into Wales, and then going the ferry over to Dublin and around Ireland up to Belfast, over into Scotland. So it's a really nice tour, and we still at this time have space available for that. A real nice cruise that we have going is a celebrity cruise, and that is in actually, it's Valentine's Day, February 14th of 2015. And Celebrity we have great pricing for the cabins, and Celebrity has promotions that they continually have been running, and you get to pick either a free alcohol beverage package, free shipboard credit of, I think it's $300, free gratuities, or if you use their Choice Air, you get a discount on your cruise for using their Choice Air. So that, if you've ever taken a cruise and know what your bar bill can end up at the end, if you like to have a few cocktails. The beverage package, the air credit, they're all wonderful perks.
Well, I'm glad that we did what we did because we have like 20 seconds left. So, Peg, what I would like to say is you've given people a lot of neat information, and to reach Diamond Dream Destinations or any of our other chamber members, you can call the chamber office at 708-532-5700. Well, our next guest is a familiar face to the Chamber of Commerce and a friend of mine as well. The individual who is in charge of business development for Riverdale Body Shops, none other than our friend Phil Mazer. Phil, welcome again to our show.
Good evening, Joe. It's always good to be here with you.
Well,
thank you for having me.
This will be viewed sometimes during the daytime, so but we are filming during the evening.
Okay.
Well, you know, Phil, some people may not have heard some of your previous guest appearances. So if you would tell us just a little bit about yourself, what inspired you to go into the type of work that you're in, and then we'll talk about Riverdale Body Shops and maybe a little bit about the chamber.
Okay. I have a long history in the body shop business. I work for Riverdale Body Shops now. They have 9 locations. Again, I'm in charge of business development, which is basically the business side of the business. Okay. We have locations in Orland Park, Tinley Park, Alsip, Dalton, Chicago Heights, Roseland Community, Chatham Community, Highland, Indiana, and Schererville, Indiana.
You got them all.
So I work with the insurance industry, insurance agents.
Okay.
I think we are members of 6 or 7 chambers of commerce. I just finished a 3-year term on the board of a chamber. As you know, I'm on the executive board of the Tinley Chamber.
Yes.
As you're on the board, past president, sir. And,
Thank you.
So I keep pretty active in that respect.
Well, they're all great communities. Tinley Park is among the best.
It is.
And we enjoy doing that. So that's a little background about yourself. Now let's talk about Riverdale Body Shops.
Okay. Riverdale is a great, in my opinion, family-owned and operated organization. They truly understand the quality of work, but the nice thing is they truly understand hiring people and letting them do their job. But they really understand community involvement and the importance of supporting each individual community. That's why we do what we do. And it works out very well.
Now, what makes Riverdale Body Shops different from, let's say, some other body shops?
Again, the term quality and customer service is thrown around quite easily. Very difficult to attain. And they insist on it. But also, in our business, with technology coming at the speed of light, training is essential. And training takes a lot of time. When guys want to fix cars and they have to stop and go to training for 4 or 5 hours, they don't want to do that. So we have constant training in our business. That's the only way to keep up. My guess is that cars that are 3 years and newer, probably 70% of body shops shouldn't be repairing those vehicles.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Next year, the Ford F-150 is going to be all aluminum.
I heard about that.
Okay. Heavy duty, lightweight, better gas mileage, but 90-some% of shops will not be capable of repairing those vehicles without the proper training. So that's how technology is changing our business as fast as it can.
My understanding, it's entirely different welding equipment and what
Yes.
have you. All right.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Aluminum is used extensively. Carbon fiber. These are all lightweight. We want better gas mileage. And these are strong as steel. So
Sure.
That's where our industry is going. And of course, then with wireless technology, who knows where this is going to end?
Oh, isn't that the truth?
I believe towards the end of this, somewhere around the end of this decade, the cars will drive themselves out on the street.
Who is it already is experimenting with that?
Well, they're all
Google
they all
or-
have it, but they're all testing it in certain areas. But by the end of this decade, with the sensors and the technology, the cars will drive themselves. Probably you'll have 80% less accidents And naturally, your insurance rates will go down, right?
Of course. They usually do, don't they?
But I just read a study that expressway traffic alone will improve drastically when the cars drive themselves. You won't have human error. You won't have some people going 80 miles an hour and some people going 30 miles an hour. The car will drive down a lane and you'll get better times and less accidents by having driverless technology.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's coming, like it
So
or not.
let me ask you a question. What is the procedure that somebody goes through, and what are some of the different facets to Riverdale Body Shops?
Well, I don't know how to answer that in those terms. I mean, we repair cars that were involved in an accident. A lot of parts replacement, different parts, OEM parts, used parts. Paint technology has changed. We use water base. That's going to be the law across the land. I think it's a
Really?
law in about 9 states. Oh, sure.
Okay.
We use water base with urethane top clears. You know, there's no more lacquer. There's no more enamel.
Because
That's
of
how
the
fast it's
chemical
changed. Yes,
makeup
that's how
of those
much
things?
it's-
Okay.
That's how much it's changed.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So, you know, we use now what's called high volume, low pressure paint guns, where back in when you were in your 30s, let's say,
Not too long ago.
right, not too long ago, a painter sprayed with a spray gun with 55 pounds of air pressure. Today, he paints with 5 pounds of air pressure.
55 pounds of air pressure could hurt somebody.
Well, they call that atomizing the paint. Now
Yeah.
we call it spitting the paint on because you're only using 5 pounds of air
you
pressure.
call it what?
Spitting it.
Spitting it on?
Yes. Well, because it's not atomizing going up in the air. You
Right.
don't have that contamination.
Sure.
So it's greener. That's
So,
just some of the differences.
Let me, I know one of your favorite expressions
Yes.
that I've heard often is something to do with sometimes we meet by accident.
That's correct.
And that's unfortunate, but what type of vehicles does Riverdale Auto Body Shops work with? And I mean, those are some of your potential customers.
Well, it's easy to say we work on all vehicles, obviously, Ford,
Yeah.
Chevys, but we also specialize in what we call the high-end cars. Lexus, BMW, Mercedes-Benz, Volvo,
Okay.
Audi. As a matter of fact, the Highline manufacturers are really getting into a program today where they want to know the life of that car that I call from birth till death. So when they sell you a car, they want to keep records of that car throughout its history so that when it's in an accident, they want to make sure a certified shop is repairing the car properly. So if you're not certified, they won't sell you certain frame parts or body parts unless you're a certified shop. And so that high end is what we also specialize in.
That is interesting. All right, so it's automobiles, passenger vehicles, let's call
Passenger
them.
vehicles, pickup trucks.
Pickup trucks, minivans. I mean,
Yes, that's correct.
all of those vehicles. Okay. Are automobiles, those types of vehicles, the only types of vehicles that you work with, or do you work with other types?
Well, small commercial vehicles. You know, we don't repair semi-trailers or things of that nature, but small commercial vehicles we
What
do.
about, dare I say, I don't know, boats? You
No.
do it? You don't do? All right, all right. Sorry, I mentioned
That's
it.
okay. But let me just say, when we talked earlier about the training and the technology and keeping up, if you're in a front-end accident today, one of the first things we check are the pretensioners' seat belts because they're made to break in a front-end accident.
And we have about 30 seconds left, so
That's it.
yeah.
But also, the car seats, the infant car seats. If you're involved in a front-end accident where the car has to be towed, or the airbags go off, or the door is hit by the car seat, that seat has to be replaced. Most shops don't realize that.
Really, the whole
Yes.
seat?
Yes, the car seat has to be replaced.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah. So that's part of that technology that you have to keep up with.
Well, our next guest is for an organization that is relatively new as a member for the Chamber of Commerce here in Tinley Park. We have with us the chapter president for the Tinley Park Jaycees, Andrew Leoni. Andrew, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I told you that I have a little history with the Jaycees back in just a few years ago when I was in my 30s. But we know it's just a great organization. And if you would, Andrew, tell us a little bit about yourself personally, and then what inspired you to go into this organization, and then let's get into the meat of the Jaycees.
Okay. Well, real briefly about myself, I've lived in Tinley Park since 1993, other than the 4 years of undergrad in Michigan, and then I went to grad school out east, worked as a grad assistant, and got my MBA. Come back here, spent the better part of a decade at the Chicago Board of Trade, trading Citigroup's Eurodollar interest rate position. Now I currently work at Morgan Stanley as a financial planner and sit on the Kirby School District School Board. My wife and my 10-month-old son live in the Town Point neighborhood, just south of Millennium School. And as far as the Jaycees, why I joined, that's as simple as the elevator pitch that we practice all the time, and that's professional development through active citizenship. And what better way to get involved if you're ages 21 to 40 in Tinley Park than getting to know like-minded individuals united together to make this a better community.
It sounds like you've said that before, and it's got to have a lot of meaning to it, doesn't it?
Well, oh yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
I mean, I very much believe in Tinley Park, and I'm excited and what this organization can do, and I think we're going to be developing the next generation of leaders in this town for years to come.
And the Chamber of Commerce would like to think that they are either current or future Chamber of Commerce members as well, especially as they either develop their own business or begin to work for somebody else in the community, if they aren't already. But tell us, where did the name Jaycees come from?
Well, Jaycees is kind of the abbreviation or nickname of United States Junior Chamber.
Okay.
So it's the hipper way of saying it, if you will. You know, we're a younger organization, so you certainly want to put a more youthful mark on it. So I think that's where Jaycees came from, but it's short for Junior Chamber.
Okay. Well, I kind of knew that, but a lot of other people may not. So let's talk about what the Jaycees actually do. What are some of the things that they're involved with? And as you said, it's developing character and what have you, and meeting with like-minded people, or maybe meeting with some people who you disagree with, but that's part of our development, isn't it?
Absolutely.
What do the Jaycees actually do?
Well, I mean, in addition to volunteering, I think that's the first thing that comes to mind with people, but if you think about as you're developing your professional network and improving your skills as a public speaker or ability to network, whether it's leveraging the social network or just marketing yourself when you're looking for a new job, we can offer and bring in individuals to do that type of training totally free of cost. I mean, you're looking at a couple $100 a crack to sign up for a workshop that may take all weekend, but as a member of a JC, that's one of our value propositions, is that we can do that for you for free. And I mean, these are top-notch trainers. I mean, one of the experiences I had during the seminar in St. Louis was so positive. I came back to my managers at Morgan Stanley, and they're looking into hiring some of those same individuals for quite a bit of money. I got to do it for free because I'm a JC. On top of that, you may or may not have heard about our pizza competition. Actually, I believe you were there. We worked with about 10 of the local businesses, restaurant and pizza makers, in determining who had the best pie in town, and we raised money for the VFW and the Tinley Garden Center, and we raised quite a bit of money. And the other beautiful thing about the Jaycees is if there's anything you have passion about, maybe you may have a hard time getting a group of friends together to do that, or you're not really sure where to go to find the resources or the manpower to raise awareness or money for something that drives you, a passion of yours. The Jaycees, you can start a project. We will help fund it, and you can share it, and you'll along the way learn what it takes to be a project manager in a small business organization.
All right. How many, now this is a relatively new chapter. How when I say relatively new, how new is it?
We just chartered in January. We have 24 members. We started signing up last October, so we are very new. I actually was at the national conference in St. Louis and received our charter from President Fay Poissant. It was the second week of January this year, so we're brand new to the community and brand new to the National Jaycees.
Yes, you are, and not to belabor the pizza fundraiser. I mean, it was a tasty competition, and I know you did raise some good money for a charity, and it was also an opportunity, as I saw, for a lot of people to be networking and get together and see people that you haven't seen for maybe a while, for different reasons. But now I know it's the Tinley Park Jaycees. Does somebody necessarily have to live in Tinley Park, or can they come from a neighboring community?
Yeah, you can come from pretty much anywhere. We have our treasurer lives just outside Naperville. One of our vice presidents lives in Oak Lawn. So you don't have to be a resident of Tinley Park to be a part of our organization. As long as you're able to make the meetings and you're a young person between the ages of 21 and 40 that is passionate about doing good things, then we welcome you with open arms.
I just missed that. Doggone it. All right. We haven't really talked about any future promotions, but I mean, is there anything else later in the month of May, or are there some in future months that are in the works?
Well, we hold our general meetings the first Wednesday of every month.
Okay.
At Durbin's in Tinley Park. Starts at 7. The official meeting starts at 7:30, but we hold a little bit of a social hour, a half hour before. And if you want to check out what upcoming events we have, either social events, fundraisers, professional networking and team building skills, then feel free to check out the Tinley Park Jaycees Facebook page.
Okay, so let's give us that web page. What is the URL for that?
Actually the web page, because we are so new, is being still developed because copyright issues and so on and so forth. But we do have the Tinley Park Jaycees Facebook page up, and you can contact us and stay on top of everything that's going on from there.
So is it Tinley Park Jaycees?
Just Tinley Park Jaycees. If you plug that into Facebook, it'll come up.
Oh, all right.
Right away.
All right. Is there a phone number that people can call for information if they have a problem with let's say, a computer?
No, I mean, for the most part, really, we're just asking. We don't have a physical office yet, so we don't have a phone number that we'd like to give out at this point. But if you contact us on the Facebook page, you can certainly, you will hear from us rather quickly.
Okay. Well, you heard it from Andrew. You can contact or get in touch with the Jaycees, either going to Tinley Park Jaycees on the Facebook page, or contact the Tinley Chamber of Commerce office at 708-532-5700, or go to Tinley Park Chamber or tinleychamber.com to reach any of our chamber members. Well, Andrew, we have like 20 seconds left. Is there just something that you'd like to say to our viewers?
Yeah, just that Tinley Park is a very, very involved community. Most of the volunteering is from the baby boomers right now, so I think it's up to us young citizens to step up and take their place as the next volunteers in this community.
Andrew, thanks for being with us, and I hope this exposure gets you a lot of new members.
I hope so too. Thank you.
Right.